Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Winner's Table. Today I'm extremely excited to introduce Prithvi, a recent graduate from the London School of Economics and Political Science. He graduated with first class honours, equivalent to a 4.0 GPA, and is currently working at Rothschild & Co. as an investment banking analyst in London. At LSE, he led multiple societies, including Global Platinum Securities, an intercollegiate investment fund, and the research team at Asia Investment and Banking Conference, the largest student-run conference in Asia on finance, and LSE's investment research group. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for asking. So let's jump straight into it. Let's talk about your experience at LSE. With lockdown in the UK, how have you found yourself adapting to the current environment? Are there any skills or practices you believe would be important to ensuring you can make the best of your education?
I think so for me, like in my third year or my final year of university, sort of the coronavirus and lockdown happened in my second term. So that was sort of right before our final exams. And I think like in the lockdown, as it is without, like I think the key to sort of doing well was consistency, and also sort of LSE sort of allows you to record the lectures or records the lectures for you and then plays it back. So it was actually not that much of a switch. But I think what was even worse, I guess, was sort of like not getting the end of university with your friends and sort of graduating together. But I think in terms of skills and practice, I think as long as you sort of practice consistently and you sort of again like try and understand the fundamentals of concepts, you should be all good.
That's great. So let's move on then. Let's talk about competitions. What roles have competitions and, of course, the competitive spirit played in your education and your applications to colleges?
Yeah, I think you'll find in almost any college, whether it's like sort of high ranked or not, you find definitely competitive people. And I think if you want to make it in that college, you need to be competitive yourself. And I think within like high school sort of itself, it really helps to sort of differentiate yourself from other candidates who are doing competitions and honing that competitive spirit, learning how to work in a team. Because even with college interviews and even job interviews, a lot of it is like sort of you have these things called assessment centers where you work in a team and sort of do something similar to a competition. So it's actually very, very important to sort of have the idea of throwing yourself into something for a while, doing well in it, and trying to motivate yourself by being one of the best in the competitions, and then using that to do well in high school and apply well and differentiate yourself, but also when you're applying for jobs in university itself.
That's great. I think you identified a few key factors there that I think a lot of our viewers would be interested in. But now moving on to, Comprich and its services. Do you believe that the Comprich web app would help students access competitions and overcome, certain obstacles?
Yeah, I think it's a really good initiative, and I think it's like important for students at high school level to have some sort of benchmark or understanding of what exists out there and sort of what might be the best suited for themselves. And I think I definitely wish that I had something like that when I was in high school. So I definitely think it's a great initiative, and people should take advantage of it.
Great. And let's talk about those obstacles that Comprich is removing, because I think we should be more aware about them, right? So were there any competition or like obstacles you faced when you were trying to attend those competitions back when you were in high school?
Yeah, especially in high school, I think what typically tends to happen is when you're in I studied in Singapore, and sort of over there you get exposed to maybe Singapore competitions that your school lets you know about. But the unfortunate thing is you typically don't get any invitations, or sort of you're not aware of a competition that happened globally. And I think that's the biggest advantage of Comprich, in that you're aware of competition that happened globally, and obviously it sort of looks a bit better if you win a competition that's global versus regional. And you sort of can help prepare for it and like select which one's scheduled with your timeline. I think just a variety, and I guess it's with the internet in general, you sort of have the variety and access to so much more than you would if like your teacher comes in and tells you something. So yeah, I think it's definitely a great initiative, and it removes some of the obstacles that you have in high school, sort of taking the most advantage of competitions.
That's great then. So I think we'll just ask one final question. Is there any kind of advice you'd like to give to viewers? Anything concerning, college, applications, organization skills, or just competitions in general?
I think, like competition would be a good one to touch on, in that like you need to find a way to differentiate yourself, and that competitions is definitely one way to do that. And it's also, I guess, trying to be as open-minded as you can in both the universities that you attend and the courses that you want to do, because I think it is great to get into like a top tier university, but even if you get into one that's not top tier, there's definitely ways that you can, I guess, make up a difference or still be somewhere you really want to be. But I think in the application you should definitely try and be yourself and not bullshit too much, which I think a lot of people tend to do and then maybe get wrong.
Of course.
But yeah, no, that's about it.
Okay, perfect. No, I think this was a lot of valuable insight that you've given to me, and I'm sure that our viewers would take from this. But thank you so much for taking out time and giving us all this information. I'm sure that all of our viewers, and like I said, myself, will find this information very useful for the future.
Yeah, no worries at all, and I think you're doing a great initiative with Compage, so well done on that.
Thank you so much.